Hi everyone, my name is Aaron Lipsey. I'm a squat specialist, and today we're going to talk about how the deadlift can greatly improve your squat power. So, in previous videos, you know that I've spoken about rising up from the squat, not allowing your knees to move forward even a millimeter. So right when you're in the deep hole of the squat, wherever your end range is, when you decide to ascend, what's going to happen is your knees will be pulled back towards your heels, and your hips will draw forward towards the heels. Now, there's a slight timing to that as well. You don't want to actually start the hips to go from flexed to extended right away. I'm going to show you how the deadlift works and how all this relates to the squat, and as well using the hamstrings and glutes more to give you power. So when you do a deadlift, most people actually pick the barbell up, either folded right over with their bum high, or they pick it up quite upright. Now, quite upright is a very powerful way, but the quads are the prime movers there. Like, it's a huge front-loaded lift. Knees way back, depending on your height, that's a loss of power, and I'm going to show you why in just a second. Somewhere in between with your torso angled about 45 degrees or so will maximize power output. Now, if you delay extension of the hips on your lift, then you will get maximal power and have your glutes and hamstrings blast right off. So what you'll do is you'll pick up the barbell like so. Now some people pick it up here already. Their hips are pretty high, in which case they've got less range of motion to straighten and generate power. So you need to get fairly low, and then you just get your head up, the knees go back, and then you thrust, like so. As the barbell rises, technically you can actually reorient your torso over the bar more if you've got loose hamstrings. So as the barbell rises, you stay over the bar as long as you can in a whipping action, because that whip is going to be the high pull portion. Now, what I'm going to show you now is how this relates to swimming and the squat, and then you're going to use this technique to generate a lot of power on your squats. So if you've ever watched swimming, or people who swim competitively, you'll notice that they dive off a block for most of these swim disciplines. Not all of them, but for most. Let's go with freestyle. You take a swimmer, they're on a block. You watch at the low levels, unless they're professional, even some of the pros don't do it right. They have a high hip, like this, and they're taught to rock back. Michael Phelps, I think, has a rock back. I'm not too sure. A lot of the pros do. But there are very few who have this really good position off there, which is like a deadlift position off a stagger. So what they'll do is they'll take a staggered position like so, gripping their block, and then right when they go to take off, they come up and forward. And it's just the same motion I showed you on that deadlift. It's a very wicked whip snap. And those who do that when they're usually in the water first, the rock back is timed off the gun. I only explain that to you because of power. You can't have the hips high and expect to go into full extension, having them already almost in full extension, and then decide to blast off with the weight in hand. The bum's got to be fairly low. Now, the way the squat works for this, the reason I'm giving you this video is to show you how to do a really good deadlift to get ready for Olympic lifting, but also to put power into your squat. So when I've shown you the squat in the past, we sit down, and then we stand up like so, right? Now, if you delay extension, on the up phase of the squat, you'll generate major power again. So here's your squat, right? Now when I go to rise up, my knees are going to draw back. But I didn't go into extension yet. Draw back, whip. Now when people talk about the posterior chain, what have you, I believe in a full kinetic chain, but adding that major whipping action in. So the hips don't continually fall backwards, but they do end up elevating and not being extended until the right moment. On a deadlift, it's probably somewhere above the kneecap, between here and here, when you decide to do that whip. Squat is no different. Anyway, the deadlift is a superpower exercise for your middle back, for your whole back. Glutes and hamstrings as well, fantastic. If you have range restrictions, you'll want to quantify that or qualify that and make sure that you don't go too low with poor form. I'll touch base on that on another day. For now, try these techniques. Keep your shoulders back on the deadlift. Don't let them get pulled forward, and get a nice brace through your core, through your middle back. Enjoy this, and if you'd like any more footage or content, go to www.howtosquat.net, and we'll see you next time.